Hello, everyone. It's Chris with Expat Theory. Good morning from Joliet, Illinois, where it is currently snowing. Fortunately, the ground's not cold enough for it to stick, but it is starting to accumulate. It's been snowing for a while. Thanks for returning to my channel. And if you're new here, feel free to hit that like, subscribe, and follow along. I've got to make this video. I'm actually going to make two videos this weekend, I think. I'm going to do this one and talk about my former employer. And I'm going to do a second one, and I'm going to show you guys some of the driver facilities here at GP Transco. But first off, I needed to make this video because I'm having an issue, apparently, because of the fact that I've made videos and I've made comments on other videos talking about CRST and my experience with them. For some reason, I don't know if it's purposely to irritate me, aggravate me, or thinking more along the lines it's attempt to discredit me and negate my comments and my expressing my experience. But people are claiming that I'm a recruiter for CRST simply because my experience at CRST wasn't that bad. And I was talking with a friend of mine, and I said, it's kind of like life in a way. When you get out here on social media and YouTube itself, it's a simple matter of the squeaky wheel gets the oil. So the people that are out there making all this noise about CRST, they got an axe to grind. They got a story to tell. They want somebody to hear their side and their view. And they want everybody to know how bad CRST is. And I'm the voice of reason. I'm trying to step in and say, hey, let's show the other side. Let's show the flip side of that coin. I had a good experience. So they're not all bad. Nothing's all bad. Nothing's all good. Especially in the trucking industry. It's like my buddy says, you have to find a place that you can tolerate the problems. Some places the problems are too much and you just can't tolerate it. You got to move on. Other places have the least amount of issues and problems that you can find, and it's enough to where you can still handle it. And because there's gonna be, it's just trucking. It's gonna be headaches, hassles, problems, issues. There's too many hands involved in every step and stage of trucking. And there's always going to be mistakes. There's always going to be issues and problems. And it's just like every other job. You're always going to have too many people involved that kind of complicate the process. That's why many companies go to project managers and have one person just kind of spearhead something to get it done. Because the fewer hands involved, the more it actually gets done. And trucking has a problem like that. You have so many people involved, the shipper, the receiver, the trucking company, brokers, and it's just, you're always going to have some sort of issues. So, that being said, I have made comments online about CRST being basically a typical trucking company. They have a lot of problems and issues. Some of their problems and issues stem from their contract system that they put in place, where they're bringing in new people. They're paying for their accommodations, their travel, their actual truck driving school, getting them their CDL, and then expecting that person to follow the plan and work for CRST for X amount of time to repay the money spent already on them to get into the industry and get their CDL and get on the road and work with a trainer. Excuse me. However, there are a lot of individuals, more than I really thought. There are a lot of individuals who are attempting to take advantage of that. They will accept all of the travel and accommodations and the truck school and all that and get their CDL and then bounce and go somewhere else and drive for some other company. CRST gets stuck holding the bag, and they've paid out a significant amount of money to bring you in, and then you basically commit fraud and walk out on them. And then that individual will get angry or upset or want to lash out at CRST when they try to figure out a way to recoup their losses. So, for the most part, that's the largest majority of people that are the squeaky wheels out there talking bad about CRST. And then there are some that did complete their contract. They weren't happy with the amount of money they were making, the miles they were getting, or the driving situation. There was always, these stories about how bad it was. And I'm not going to deny there are a number of those. I've got a number of them. I've got a number of bad stories about things that happened while I was driving for CRST. But if you get down at what I consider the cellular level, and you're looking at every little cancerous cell that happened to you, yeah, it's going to look bad. It's going to look horrible. But when you take a step back and view things from the bigger picture, did you make money? Did you survive it? What's that guy say? Did you die? No. And at the end of the year, you got statistics and math that'll show you what you did or did not do. And my experience, I made more money working for CRST than I've ever made with any company, any job in my entire life. While other people will gripe and complain that the numbers that I reached are too low and I was being abused or whatever. But that's from their perspective and what their experience was. For me, I saw it as a positive thing. I never had that opportunity to make that kind of money before. And yeah, it may have been low, but it was more than I've ever had before. So I wasn't completely unhappy. I just wanted more. And I was willing to continue working and work harder to make more and work with that company to get through those problems so that I could continue to make more. And I worked for them for almost 3 years, and each year that I worked for them, my pay went up. So I was successful at increasing my annual income every year. In fact, I had no plans on leaving CRST. It wasn't until when I got transferred into the Kentucky Regional where communications fell apart and a lot of the jobs and loads that I got had far too many issues and problems. So that became a real problem because my paycheck started to suffer for poor communications, poor information, bad loads. You can't go sit on a street curb outside of a shipper for 2 days and can't get the load that you were assigned. So they give you another load to replace it that's a couple of hours away, a couple 100 miles. you've lost 3 days trying to do a couple hundred miles, which you can do in an afternoon. That is why I left CRST. But as far as the organization itself goes, the corporate, dealing with them, they're no different than anybody else. So I didn't have the nightmare horror stories that these people online are trying to tell you. So anyway, I just needed to get in here and let people know that no, I'm not a recruiter for CRST. I'm not a recruiter, period, for anything. I'm a big champion for making a plan. And you guys are probably tired of hearing that. But I'm all about making the plan and then getting on it, doing something about it, making some money, putting it in savings, and start building for that retirement. I'm all about that. And even if you're not focused on retirement, you can still take that same concept and same idea to reach financial goals that you want for other things. You want a new car? Plan it. You want that newest iPhone? Plan it. Once you start doing that, it gets real addictive. When you start hitting your targets and your goals and seeing the things that you wanted and you get them, it changes the way you think about things. And I'm all about that. I'll talk about that all day long. But as far as trying to recruit somebody into trucking or for any company, no. Trucking is not for everyone. Especially the over-the-road trucking that I'm doing and what my friend Fig is doing. No, it's not for everybody. And I would never tell anybody to do it. And there's all kinds of other trucking that you can do. So I'm not going to try to recruit anybody, especially for, doing over the road. I mean, there's other jobs within the trucking industry that can be done. You can be home every night. And they make good money. So, all right, I'm going to wrap it up. I just wanted to make sure that anybody that actually clicks my link on some of my other comments and comes over to my channel, they actually see this video that confirms with them that I'm not some corporate created entity. I am just a regular driver who's been out here for a couple years telling my story and giving my experience. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and we will catch you in the next video. Thanks.